On the 11th of May, record-breaking solo yachtswoman Dee Caffari and her open 60 yacht Aviva crossed the start line of the Artemis Transat Race from Plymouth to Boston. For Dee, this was to be her first solo transatlantic race aboard her state-of-the-art open 60 Aviva, and she predicted an action-packed event for the 13 solo skippers taking on the North Atlantic. Dee was not wrong, and during the race, 4 of the 13 skippers were forced to retire. The whole fleet had to face harsh, varied and demanding weather conditions, but Dee also had a personal goal. She had to get Aviva to the finish line to qualify for the Vendée Globe race in November. In the very early stages of the race, Dee faced electrical problems and struggled with the complexity of her new racing machine, but as the race progressed, her tactical decision-making and solo sailing skills improved.
24 hours sailing on the Artemis Transat, and I'm a tired bunny. I haven't had much sleep. It's been quite light airs and a lot of fog in the early hours, which was a bit spooky. Lots of shipping. I'm now just crossing the Fastnet Gate. So we rounded Eddystone, crossed the Lizard yesterday evening, and now lunchtime I'm crossing the Fastnet Gate. So now it's open Atlantic that lays before me. The wind should build this afternoon, and tactically I need to drive at the right time and hopefully stay in touch with the pack where I am and gain a few miles. That's the plan. Now, I'm not sure if, strictly speaking, this is still single-handed sailing when I've had a guest with me. Now, it's been pretty nice today. I have just put a reef in just to slow the boat down because I've got some generator work to do. And I met my little friend here who's right in the way of the winches and the lines, which is, as you can see, I've had to work around him so that he didn't get scared. He seems to just want to rest. I think he's Irish because we're just southwest of Ireland, and I didn't have him on board before the Fastnet Rock. So meet my little friend. It's Monday night, Tuesday morning, at about 4 o'clock, and thankfully it's just starting to get light. I have just had the ultimate power problem of absolutely everything shutting down, and I don't know what to do about it. I've just got the emergency iridium out of my grab bag and called the boys, and hopefully now I just have to sit and wait for an answer. I've dropped my sails and just reefed the main to 3 reefs, and I'm just kind of floating. Thankfully I'm out the shipping lanes, but it's quite breezy and the waves are picking up because I was just trying to go over the top of a depression. All I can do is wait. Unfortunately, as I wait, it's not only sounds horrible, but we're going in the wrong direction. So this will have cost us dearly. Well, just 3 hours after everything shut down, I am now just finished rehoisting the sails with power back on. So it's good news. And what a great team I have that can find the answers at 4 o'clock in the morning. But I'm a little bushed because rehoisting the main is a long way. Well, I'm in the high pressure ridge, and as you can see, floating, going nowhere. It's very depressing, very frustrating. The noise in the background is the generator. I just wish that was the engine so we could get through this bit. I just have to concentrate on keeping the boat moving in 2 knots of wind, and we're making just about 1 knot. So I know there's pressure the other side, I just have to keep focused. I've just heard the news that Mitch Deja's had to retire from the race. Absolutely devastated for him, and I don't believe he's retired ever before in an offshore race. Leading the pack for most of the race as you'd expect him to, but he hit a whale and has damaged his dagger board. And he's actually going to return straight back to France, where I assume he'll get it fixed and be back out on the water before we know it. But it does make you think what's out here and what can happen. Anything can happen to any one of us at any time. And it does really remind you what it's all about. Well, the kettle is on. Sunday dinner is going to be some fettuccine pasta, broccoli and mushroom in a rich cream sauce, allegedly. Now what happens to this little packet I have, I open it up and in there is some dry food, and I'm going to add my hot water, and that is miraculously going to change into tagliatelle fettuccine. Can't wait for that, yummy. But I do still have some of my secret weapon, and that is the trusted Haribo. But I'm saving them for my last day, so no, I'm not allowed them yet. I've added my hot water, mixed it up. Now all I need to do is leave the bag for 10 minutes. And hey presto, I shall show you how appetising my dinner is. It's Tuesday the 20th, and I'm pretty shattered this morning. It was a busy night, and I had winds up to 30 knots, but it was reaching, so it was really wet and wild. And I worked really hard. Every time I wanted to go to sleep, the radar sounded and told me another rain cloud was on its way. And everything all seemed to happen at once. And then this morning, positions have come in, and it's been worth it. I've closed some miles on the others, so that's really lifted my spirits. And I know that in the next 24, 48 hours, there'll be a lot of sail changes coming on, because we go from very windy weather to very light weather as we close the ice gate. So I've had my breakfast, refueled, and just got to keep on it, keep an eye on the weather, and make sure I tack at the right time. Well, over my left shoulder is the ice gate, which finally, painstakingly, I have passed today, having floated for about 12 hours. We are now reaching and pointing in the direction of Boston, which is great news. We're just over 1,000 miles left to go, looking at Sunday, Monday arrival, depending on what we've got. We've got a big blow coming up tonight, so that should give us some fast, wet and wild conditions, and then we've got some tricky patches ahead of that. I crossed the ice gate along with Akina, Sevan and Roxy, just on their tail again, so hopefully I can stay with them all the way to the finish. It would be really cool. For 2 days it's rained non-stop, and I was wet, cold, miserable, and now it's a beautiful evening, but almost the other extreme of a little too little wind. But there are some ominous looking clouds ahead with showers in, so I know there'll be some breeze in them. And this is how we go on our final 600 miles to Boston. A bit of breeze and then some more light weather ahead, so we just got to keep on going. I do believe tonight the leader will arrive in Boston, and that's Loic Perron on Gitada, making him the first person to win 3 Transat races. But he may have won 3, but in 600 miles time this will be my first solo race, so I'm just as excited. Um, 24 hours ago I was having a really bad 24 hours in 25 to 30 knots of wind, going upwind. I couldn't keep pace with the others. I'd lost a lot of miles. I was very frustrated, and tacked away early with the plan to come south, and had a very pleasant morning sailing, and I consoled myself that I just need to finish the race and don't worry about the lost miles. And then I saw there's a high pressure ridge that we all had to pass, and I thought, well, this is my last chance. There's 480 miles to go. We're all going to have to go through this ridge, and now here I am, still with 480 miles to go. and getting to Boston seems like the furthest thing possible at the moment. I can't even get the boat to move. I've tried everything I know how to do. Visibility is down to about 2 boat lengths, and I think I'm actually spending more time going backwards in the Gulf Stream current than I am going forwards, because there's no wind, no boat speed, lots of flapping sails, and all I can imagine is that the others are sailing towards Boston at the moment, and it's just driving me mad. I don't wish bad things on anybody, but I hope they're in the same wind conditions as I'm in to give me a chance. But it's not on the weather file when the next wind's going to come. I have no idea. All I can do is wait. I don't know what else to do now. The boat is finally moving after 2 days of being becalmed. It's beautiful conditions at the moment. Flat water, 20 knots of breeze, and I'm just fast, close to the wind but not on the wind. Doing about 12 knots. And the forecast is for the wind to increase up to 30 knots overnight, so it'll be a bit of a wet and wild night, but tomorrow should see me arrive in Boston if I can keep this up, so I'm relieved. Pleased to be getting in. Shame I'm not getting in a little earlier ahead of some of the others, but it's been a learning curve for the Transat. My first solo offshore open 60 race, and my first race in a new boat. Got a lot of work to do before the Vendée, but a lot of positive things have come out of this, and a lot of frustrating things have come out of this, but it's all part of the learning curve, and the first step to the bigger picture, which is the Vendée.
On May 27, Dee and Aviva arrived in Boston and successfully completed their first solo ocean race. The race signified a huge personal achievement for Dee, who competed against a strong international fleet, including French sailing legends Loic Peyron, Vincent Rieu and Michel Desjoyeux. For both Rieu and Desjoyeux, boat damage from collision with sea mammals forced their retirement, demonstrating just how hard it is to finish a competitive offshore race. Dee's Jedi master, Loic Peyron, went on to a historic victory in Boston. The completion of the Artemis Transat means that Dee has technically qualified for the Vendée Globe and is one step closer to realising her ultimate goal, to become the first woman to sail solo, non-stop, around the world in both directions.